A very special thanks for Mr. Damita Karunasinghe for being part of this panel discussion in a short notice. So now we can proceed to the panel discussion.
Moderating this panel discussion and among all my former colleagues and the electrical engineering students and all these distinguished invitees. Let me start by the panelists have been already introduced. On my left, we have Dr. Slam Pereira, the General Manager from Electric Department, and at the left-hand corner, we have Dr. Martin, the General of Public System of Reactor, today I quickly ran through the World Energy Outlook, what is required for the world to supply energy in the next so many years up to 2030. And I found that we need about, by the time we come to 2015, the total energy requirement of the world is about 14 billion tons of oil equivalent. And when it comes to 2030, it's about 17 billion tons of oil equivalent. And now, if you look at the spread of this, you can still see that the energy supply will be dominated by coal, oil, and gas, even in 2030. But this does not mean that we will not be going into other sources of energy, but contributions will continue to be small, but they will, in absolute terms, they will grow. If you look at the investment requirements in the energy sector, by the time it comes to 2030, the total investment requirement from now onwards up to 2030 is about $26 trillion for the energy sector. This includes both the developing countries as well as developed countries. Out of which about half of the requirement will come from the power sector. So the challenge is to find all the money required to develop the power sector, whether it be in developing world or developed world. Now, if you look at the numbers, out of the requirement, about 65% of it will come from OECD countries or developing countries around the world. If you look at the situation in South Asia, we have roughly about 22% of the world population sitting in South Asia in the three countries we have. And, but we have only about 4% of the total land mass in the world. And if you look at the total generation capacity, the world generation installed capacity out of we have only 4% of the generation capacity sitting in South Asia. And if you look at the import dependence, the region as a whole is 40% import dependent. That means in terms of our energy requirements. That means whatever we do, 40% of the energy we require will have to come from outside the South Asia region. Now the challenge is, in fact, with all these problems to supply the energy requirements in the region and to increase energy access to the population. Now, if you look at the international trends, the subject today, from my opinion, the trends revolve around a few important areas. The first, of course, the most talked about subject is climate change. If you look at the trend in the developed world, basically revolves around the climate change issue. And then when it comes to countries like us, it revolves around the capital requirements, capital investment requirements in these countries. As you know, the energy access in this region is pretty low compared to the developed world. Though in Sri Lanka we are quite good. It's about 85% of the population.
and but